Joining us now is Congressman Elijah Cummings. He's the ranking member of the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform and a member of the Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. Congressman, it is good to have you here this evening.
It's good to be with you.
So talk to me, Congressman Cummings. Do you have concerns about these planned changes to the Postal Service, particularly the impact that it might have on black communities?
Oh, no doubt about it. You're talking about just this reduction from 5 days from 6 days to 5 days will cut anywhere from 25 to 30,000 employees. And with regard to Asians, African Americans, and Hispanics, they comprise about 40% of the Postal Service employees. So it's logical to believe that if they were to lose that 30,000 jobs, and easily 40% of them would be African Americans, Hispanics, and Asian Americans. Now, there's another thing, Melissa, that a lot of people don't realize, and that is over 40% of all postal employees are women.
Yeah.
And so you have a lot of women, many of whom are single women, head of household, and they depend upon that decent wage, decent working conditions, and benefits to take care of their families. And so, yeah, it would have a devastating effect in an economy that is already very, very fragile.
I keep thinking that maybe the post office needs sort of better marketing. So after I saw the Dodge's God Made a Farmer Super Bowl commercial, I kept thinking maybe we need like a God Made a Mailman PSA. Like God needed someone to keep a growing nation connected, and God needed someone to keep an eye on your house when you're traveling, and God needed someone to knock on the doors of the elderly, so God made the mailman. Like there's something here about us needing to express just how critical the work of the post office is.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are confused as to why the post office finds itself in the difficulty that they are. Keep in mind that the post office produces about $65 billion a year, but 99.999% of that comes from the sale of stamps and first-class mail. And what has happened over Melissa, is that the people have now moved more and more towards using the internet, and so therefore, since 2008, the income coming into the post office has been reduced by something like about the volume that is has been reduced by about 43%. So basically, we have now, I think, and pretty much everybody admits this, we're going to have to do some downsizing because it's just not a good fit right now. We have more employees than we actually need, but there are all kinds of ways to achieve this without necessarily going through drastic measures.
So what do you think the Congress can do at this point in order to kind of forestall the labor force decline that could happen as a result of going from 6 days to 5 days a week?
Well, you know, one of the things that happened last session, Melissa, is that the Senate had put together a pretty good bill. I didn't agree with everything in it, but it called for innovation. In other words, open the door so that the post office can do what post offices do in other countries, enabling them to make additional money. For example, having opportunities to sell cell phones and opportunities to have all kinds of postal services that they would not normally have. In other words, to expand and to do things that they don't do now. But what happened is in the Congress, the response has been that anytime they decided that the post office wanted to do anything innovative, Congress said, no, we don't want you to do that because then you'll be competing against the private sector.
Right.
And so their hands are kind of tied. Basically what the Congress needs to do is do a comprehensive bill whereby we have what we call an innovation officer, which is my idea, and that person would keep the post office as a cutting edge of innovation and new ways of making money. The other thing that we're going to have to do is we are going to have to do some downsizing. But when we downsize, we have to downsize with compassion. Keep in mind, we have more than 100,000 people that are right now eligible to retire, and what we have to do now is make sure that they have a decent parachute to land. In other words, to give them some incentive money so that they can go ahead and retire, and so that we can right-size the post office. Those are the things that we've got to do. But keep in mind, every time, Melissa, that the post office tries to do something to correct itself or to make it possible to get new revenue or whatever, the Congress comes in and says, oh, no, you can't do that. And they wanted to close down some post offices that are not being productive.
Right.
Congress says, no, that's not, you can't do that in my community.
Right.
Or if they want to close a plant down, a mailing plant, no, you can't do that. So we got to find a balance here.
Right. They don't let them innovate. They don't let them compete. Then they say, you're not innovative and you're not competing.
That's right. That's right. And that's a problem.
Thank you, Congressman Elijah Cummings, who is ranking member of the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. I appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank you very much.
And Cummings